Mobcat Games Dungeons of the Obelisk podcast. I'm your host, Joe Sleppy, and I'm joined today by our animancer, Nyka Deer.
Hello.
And this podcast, if you're just tuning in, is a sort of our audio journal, our devlog of our game, Dungeons of the Obelisk, that's currently in development. We've been going for about 6 months now. It's a 2D turn-based dungeon crawling loot grinding adventure. And let's see, this episode is going to be kind of a filler episode a little bit. We're kind of between our milestones because of the holidays basically, but we wanted to not skip episodes, so we wanted to give you guys the content. So here we are.
All right.
Yeah, so we have a few kind of topics to get us started, to give us things to springboard off of, but we'll see where the conversation goes. The first thing that I thought of for our topics was what's your favorite thing in the game so far?
I'm definitely biased towards the mobs. The mobs are, well, I guess not biased. I'm not making them. That's Ben. I'm just making them move.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've kind of designed half of them, and then Ben really gets into the nitty gritty designing the art, and then you animate them. So,
and it feels like unwrapping a Christmas gift whenever I look at that art updates and I see new posts. I'm like, ooh, what do I get to play with now?
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I think this is true for just about everything, like movies and video games and stuff, but your hero's only as good as the enemies that they fight, right?
For sure. It's not much of a quest without perils, as they say.
Yeah, it wouldn't be dungeons if you didn't have mobs in them. It would just be like rooms or something. You would just be like walking around empty rooms like, oh yeah, there's some cobwebs or something.
Found a coin in this corner of this empty room. Nice loot.
Yeah, you gotta have the mobs to drop the loot so you can get better and make more loot.
But so far we have about, I want to say 3 mobs in-game or animated at least. 2 in-game, I guess, but...
Yeah, we have the glub and the puke rat are in-game.
That's right.
In our current build. And then we're currently working on you're currently animating the blub, which is our gelatinous cube. And then Ben is working on our new mob, the damage mob. So the gelatinous cube is the tank mob, and this new one's going to be the damage mob. And this is, I guess, the first time we're talking about it publicly, but it's going to be kind of we started with the idea of a kobold, because this first levels of the dungeon are quote unquote generic mobs that you find in everyone. So we have the slime, the rat, the gelatinous cube. So this one was going to be like a kobold, collect a ton of candles and kill kobolds. But then he kind of went with it, and now we have a multi-eyed sludge raptor, I guess. So it's kind of like a velociraptor, kind of like it was kind of based on the I'm embarrassing myself, I can't think of the dinosaur's name. It's the spitter dinosaur from Jurassic Park, but it's
oh jeez, I should know this.
It's something Dilophosaurus or something. I'm gonna look it up.
Dilophosaurus? Yes. I'm not sure.
Dilophosaurus.
That's
close enough. But ours, I think it might be the Sludgeosaurus, or it might just be the Sludge Raptor. So I'm not totally sure what it's going to be named yet, but the idea was, we have the sewer and the slime and stuff going on, so to kind of fit the vibe of it, it's a mob that spits slime at you.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it too, because this is I think the first time we've had a mob that, like, I guess wouldn't run on all fours and...
Or, like, scoot around as a slime, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have him do, like, a little kind of raptor, like, sprint or something. Probably with, like, the little arms kind of held up or something. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to animate it. I guess we can't show it in audio form, but I've seen the art and it's beautiful. I haven't really commented on it much, but I've been trying to keep up with that.
Yeah, we could probably tell Ben to share the sketch in Discord.
Heck,
I'll type
yeah.
it right now if we can edit out me typing and make it shorter, but I'm gonna do it right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be in there in the Discord by the time you're listening to this. If you're listening to this and you're not in our Discord, we usually say this at the end, but in case people skip the plugs at the end, go to knobcat.com and get in our Discord, because that's where we post the art and first looks at stuff.
For sure. Plus, like, we just need more people in there. Let's make it a party.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have people chatting and hanging out and stuff.
I definitely could stand to be more active, but, like, we need more peeps. It'd be cool.
It's sort of hard right now because they're not playing the game yet.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of stuff to talk about, They're kind of just waiting on us to give them, previews and things. So it is hard to get in there and just talk about stuff, but eventually it's going to be the place to be.
Yeah, and we definitely got some people showing, like, our interest in, like, testing and stuff, so that's going to be really fun once we get a little further along with game dev, I think.
Yeah, I cannot wait until people can play this, even if it's just beta testers or whatever, but right now it's just not ready for people to play yet. I had my wife play it a little bit, and we can get in there and we know, like, what stuff is gonna be added eventually, but if you don't know that stuff, you can't really, like, use your imagination to fill it in. So, like, it's pretty incomplete yet, even though I can get on and do a video of it and kind of show you guys how to play it. It's still, like, incomplete enough that if you get in there by yourself, you're gonna run into bugs and things aren't gonna work right. So
yeah, like, either something's gonna happen where, like, it doesn't transition to a scene right and you get locked into place, or, like, you're gonna get loot that says it's consumable and it's not consumable yet, and it doesn't even have art yet, so you don't know what it's supposed to do in the first place. That's kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. Like my wife would drop some loot and it would be a consumable or whatever, crafting material, and she'd be like, well, what do I do with this? And I'd be like, it's not in the game yet. you gotta wait.
Like, stare at it and imagine what could be.
Yeah, imagine Ben drew some awesome art for this, which is happening eventually. Speaking of that, my favorite part of the game right now, two little things. The first one is the offhand items. We haven't had, like, an offhand item as a placeholder or anything for a while, so now that we have, like, a couple things, like the doll, the shield, the dagger, I just love having those, like, offhand items for some reason now that they have some art for them.
Yeah.
For the uncommon versions.
And I'm gonna be I guess animating that attack with the offhand weapon this time, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be cool, because right now your offhand weapon attack is just hitting with the main hand twice, so having the offhand attack will be really cool.
For sure. I'm really excited to see, like, some of the options we can get when we start combining, like, this thing in this hand and this thing in that hand. Like, it's gonna open up a lot of animation opportunities and I don't know. Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. My other thing is an animation thing. That rat running around in the dungeon, it just, like, gets me. Like, I don't know what the word is for it, but it's just like, I'm just like, every time I see it, I like can't believe it's happening. It's just like the best animation. You know, you talked about it being like walking around like a penguin or whatever, and that's literally what I imagined it was going to be. And then I saw it running around on all fours, and like when you're standing in the dungeon and you see it like running around and then standing up and idling and then running around, it's just nuts. Like, it's so much better than it has any right to be.
Yeah, and I literally, when I tried to make it run on all fours, I was like, this might not work at all. Like, I'm gonna have to kind of break the rig a little to get the the legs where I need them to be. But like, when it was all said and done, it looked beautiful. Like, I'm really glad it worked out.
Yeah, it's so good, and it really gives like this like feeling of it like milling around like a rat would, you know, like running around to different spots, and
because that's kind of,
you know, standing back up, and that's what they do.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's like why it just kind of, I think, works so well, because I didn't really think about that, but that's really what like rats and mice kind of do, isn't it? They scurry around, they look up to get a good view, and they scurry again. And it's so big that when it stands up, it's kind of, it's like, oh god, that thing's big.
It's getting resized though. I had a meeting with Kel earlier today, and we went over all of my notes for milestone 5.
That makes sense, honestly. It's kind of huge.
Yeah, because the other stuff, the blub is going to be huge. You know, that's a tank mob that's a big gelatinous cube that can like swallow the player. So it's going to be huge. But like, you know, actually I didn't think of this until just now, but the blub is a specialist mob. It's a tank. So it's one of the mobs that can be trash, uncommon, or rare. Mm-hmm. So it's going to have different rarities, and the difference between the size of it has to, you know, trash ones and uncommon ones are different sizes, and then the rare ones just the same size as the uncommon, but indicated by a elite skull icon. So the player character is a certain size, and the skeleton of a player character that's inside of the blub has to be the same size as the player character. So do we need to resize that skeleton inside of the different ones? I wonder.
Probably. Thankfully, it shouldn't be too hard to do. I feel like we probably won't even have to make new animations. We'll just probably just like scale the root bone of the skeleton down to be like relative to the size of the person, but then scale up the cube around it.
Yeah, I would say right now, like, I guess this is getting technical for like people listening, but like the version we have right now should be the small version.
Yeah.
And then to make the bigger version, you just expand the gelatin part and leave the skeleton the same size.
Yeah, and the way I have the rig set up right now, there's technically kind of almost two root positions. You have like a bone on the skeleton, but then you have a root bone on the slime cube as well. So you should be able to just scale one of those up and either keep the other one unscaled or scale it down to match. We might do like some slight adjustment if we need like the character within the cube to look a little more like if we need to take advantage of the size of the space it's in a little more, but otherwise I think it should be pretty easy to just kind of cut and paste it.
Right on. Well, see, I feel like, I don't know how people listen to podcasts, but I feel like that kind of stuff, that's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Is figuring out like little stuff like that. So I feel like that's a good like behind the scenes, like how game dev really works, because you think you've got everything thought through, and then all of a sudden there's just something that you never thought of that you have to deal with.
Yeah, like you said with the size of the different cubes and the skeleton, like I wouldn't have thought of that either, but when you started saying it, I was immediately like, oh, that makes sense.
Because otherwise, if you shrink it down, then it's gonna look like it's a child's skeleton inside of the little one. I don't want that to happen.
Oh, and that leaves a weird bad taste in Have you heard of that game, The Forest?
I don't think so.
I know this is an aside, but there's a survival game called The Forest. It's like you're in the forest. There's these like cannibal characters who are trying to kill you, and you gotta build forts. There's a sequel coming out, and I watched a trailer for it, and one of the enemies, no joking, is like a cannibal mutant baby mob. And I'm like, that looks too realistic. What are you doing? Like,
yeah, I don't even like the baby zombies in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, like, I was really into Dead Space when that game came out, and then it threw like baby alien zombies at me, and I was like, nope, hate this, nope.
There's something about babies that's super creepy.
Yeah, just don't. Like, I don't want to be in a position where I'm killing them or grappling them or anything. Like, no. It's just,
yeah.
It's kind of like...
Yeah, that's...
I mean, like, sure you can make them creepy, but it's still a baby on some level, and, like...
I think that's, like, what they're going for. If you're trying to be, like, horror and extra creepy, then you go for that. Like,
For what it's worth, I'm talking about it because I am a little horrified, so that does work, but...
Yeah, exactly.
I watched that trailer and I was like, the things are getting away with these days. Oh my goodness. Like old woman yells at cloud, but honestly, it's just kind of wild.
So, yeah, back to our list, I guess, to get back on topic.
Yes, for sure.
What are you most looking forward to in Dungeons of the Obelisk?
The utter lack of babies in the dungeon. I mean, let me think. I'm looking forward to seeing, like, I guess the multiplayer component get added in when that, and like that's way down the road, but I can't wait to see like people like kind of living in the game and interacting with it and how that plays out. It's gonna be a whole thing, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I am excited for that. That's gonna be really far down the road, though. I think
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be one of the last things that we really like develop, I would think. We might even have to hire like a back-end specialist for it once we get into that kind of stuff.
Like to design that like network architecture kind of stuff. Or...
Yeah, exactly. Like servers and that kind of thing. I know Kel knows some of it, but I think we've discussed that before, like whenever I was hiring him, basically, that he wasn't, an expert on that stuff. So we'll cross that when we get there, but that is an exciting part of it. Like, I can't wait for seeing people in the game. I was saying that earlier. That'll be really cool.
Yeah, because right now it's this little exclusive dungeon that like 4 people get to explore, and that's cool. It's just like, I want the world to see this. It's good.
For me, my next thing that's going to happen fairly soon that I'm really excited to see is when we get items in the game. Like, the items are in the game, but they're just like a box with text and then placeholders. I can't wait until like all the legendary items have art, all the trash items have art, and we can like really get in there and mix and match like your character's design outfit or whatever. But I think getting those artwork for the items in the game is gonna like be incredible.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be cool having the artwork for them, having like that visual representation, because right now it's like you get a great sword and it looks the same as like a knife. It's just like a box.
Like, I don't even think we have one bow in the game. Like, you can have a legendary bow and it just looks like a sword. So I can't wait till we have the unique artwork for each item.
For sure.
And Ben already did the uncommon items and knocked it out of the park. So when he does like the legendary items, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I just cannot believe the level of quality Ben's been bringing to it, honestly. It's really good.
Yeah, everything he does like amazes me, but also like I wanted to work with him because I knew how amazing his stuff was. So it's kind of funny that like it's I don't know. Should I just be like, oh yeah, another excellent piece of artwork from Ben, as expected?
I mean, it's I just like I think about like his creature comics, and those are just so like such a strong series of illustrations already, and then we got him like doing all the art, but just as like a monster designer is like perfect.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of who I'd rather have doing it at that point, because like he's really just particularly suited for it.
The one thing about our game, like we're definitely like an indie dev company, but like, can you be an indie dev if your game isn't pixel art? Because that sure seems like like everybody on Twitter that I see and stuff is like indie dev hashtag pixel art, and it's like, we're not doing pixel art. We're doing like lots of extra pixels art. Yeah. High definition art.
Well, and I have a feeling that part of it's accessibility, because like I played this game, what was it called, RD Mars, the other day. It was this little indie game, and it was a relatively nice game, a little 4 or 5 hour experience, had some okay gameplay and story, but it had that really simple pixel art style, and wouldn't you know, it's like a one person dev game, so I'm like, that makes sense if you're doing everything.
Yeah.
But like, we've got a team, we've actually got like a little group, and so having like that one dedicated art guy is really helping us out. And no offense to the art of that game looks cool on its own. Just, you know.
Yeah, for sure, nothing against pixel art. Like, I love pixel art. Like, one of my favorite games is like freaking has bit in the name.
Yeah.
The undisclosed name of game, for those who know,
that we've never heard of and never played, and our game is totally not inspired by. What?
It's inspired by
I know,
but it's definitely not a clone. Yeah, ours is my favorite parts of several different games that I really like. You know, the main one being Diablo.
I feel like that's the way to do it, is like, just look at what you want in the world and be like, what would the ideal game be like, or the ideal this look like, and then just make that.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing. You know, like well, let's just say it. Diablo,
yeah,
Torchlight, Bit Heroes, Path of Exile. I think that's it. Those are the main ones that I'm drawing inspiration from.
Yeah. Oh no, I just realized we gotta take some Dark Souls inspiration, or the media will never pick it up. It has to have Dark Souls. No, okay. It's vaguely a dungeon. It's Dark Souls.
Our game isn't that hard.
Nah.
The next one on the list of questions, and we can skip it if you don't have any questions, but do you have any questions about like game mechanics or anything now that you've played it? You know, like, obviously I've designed a bunch of the systems, and then you're playing it, you know, from an aspect where you don't really know all of my designs. Is there any like thing that you're curious about?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's like, and I mean, this might be kind of silly because I feel like dungeons are kind of made for quick runs, but is there gonna be any kind of like way to suspend in the middle of a dungeon, or like a quick save kind of mechanic maybe? I'm not sure how that would work.
Oh, you wouldn't save in the dungeon. Like, your dungeons are kind of small. Like, you for sure, like...
Gotcha. So
yeah, you for sure finish the dungeon before you close the game. If you have to... I don't know what would happen, because we do have an auto function. So... I know some games that I've played, if you like disconnect or have to like battery dies, or you close the game or something like that, it will continue in auto and finish the dungeon for you.
Oh wow.
But I don't know if that's something that we're gonna do or not. I think it's, you know, obviously getting disconnected or something and losing like your energy for a dungeon sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's any reason really. Like, the dungeons are small enough that you get in, you do your dungeon run, and then you get out, and then you would save.
Also, I forget, do we have a run feature yet, like from battle, or like a flee?
That's actually something that me and Cal talked about earlier today. Is we need to have a it can't really be a run from battle. It's going to be a run from... We were talking, I can't remember what we decided it should be called, but if you run from the battle, you fail the dungeon.
Ah, like give up or something, maybe.
Yeah, but you have to be able to give up in case you get in like a soft lock or something with like a tank mob or something that you can't kill it, but it can't kill you.
Yeah.
You know, 2 tanks hacking into each other for like 2 damage a turn. It takes like 6 hours to finish the battle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you heal.
You're just like, oh god, I want this to end. It's like, well, now you can with this convenient new button we just made. Boop.
Yeah, so I think that is gonna be a thing. A little X in the corner. You unpause, you get out of auto and exit out, and you fail the dungeon, but you can get out of, you know, situations you don't want to be in.
Right on. That makes sense. I'm trying to think if there's any more questions about mechanics I have, because I was thinking about the run one. I forget, do you think we're gonna have like we don't really have elemental types at all right now, yeah?
No, that's something that will be in the elemental damage will be added later. It's not going to be in the MVP, the minimum viable product. So
gotcha.
I don't think we have time to really implement a lot of like elemental things that I want to do, you know, before launch. But it's something right now, like, you don't really want to start in like a fire dungeon.
For sure.
Like, we're just in a sewer and everything does physical damage. So I think it's a good place to start, and then you know, elemental damage will get added later.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask about like things like weaknesses and resistances, but I guess that sort of it would end up coming up more when the elements get implemented.
Yeah, for sure. There will be, like, right now you have damage reduction, and you know, a couple other tanking like defensive stats and stuff. But then when we do get elemental damage, there'll be like elemental damage boosts for the damage that you do. And then you'll have resist all for all the elemental types, and then you know, fire resist or electric resist kind of thing.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's way down the road. That'll be in a, you know, future update, but we'll get there eventually.
For sure, one step at a time.
And we're at 30 minutes, so actually, you know, I think we'll save the rest of the stuff on the list for the next time we have a podcast and need some questions to answer. So I think 30 minutes is our cutoff.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like a decent podcast.
Well, in that case, if you've listened to the end, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thanks for checking out the podcast. If you're not in our Discord, I'm going to say it again. You got to go to knobcat.com, follow the link to the Discord. Also on knobcat.com, we have our weekly Saturday blog post. All the links to the videos for the YouTube, for the different prototype builds that I've done. And, you know, we should do a live thing in Discord again. We should try that out sometime. So
like maybe a group stream or something.
Yeah, if people are in Discord, they'll know when that happens. And of course, we have our new competition between me and you, Nyka. I run the Twitter and you run the Instagram. Yes. So we're seeing who can get the most likes as a competition. So follow our Instagram, follow our Twitter. They're both at Dungeons Obelisk. And I think that's it for the podcast. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.